30 laps the distance. Outlaw non-wing, Blake Hahn, Jeffrey Newell, your front row. KTJ, Austin Lambert, row 2. Off of 4, we're green and Outlaw non-wing. And Newell directly goes to the bottom side of the racetrack as there's Emerson Axsom. But quickly, that lap won't count, and we will have a full restart. 3M of Colin Mitchell facing the wrong direction.
Got hung out there.
KT's going to try to do a little better job here to not let Jeffrey get in line. That way he can be in second, not in third or even worse.
Try it again. Full restart with 30 laps the distance.
Better start for Newell.
And Newell this time around the outside of Blake Hahn. So Jeffrey Newell second to first here. First car again on the outside. That's Emerson Axsom. Up top now make it Kevin Thomas Jr. So KTJ testing the top, and he's going backwards.
I don't know if it's there yet, as it took him a long time to get that car rotated, so he's going to fade back in and behind Axsom, who's going to take over, I believe, what is position 5 of the raceway. Lap number 1 is Newell being chased by Hahn.
This may be a strategy call for Kevin Thomas Jr. I need to run this in so that it comes in a lot quicker than maybe toward the end of this race, but it may be too much of a gap as he's dropping back. Newell continues to lead Blake Hahn. Lambert third, Mahaffey fourth, and then Emerson Axsom continuing to also ride the top side. First car up top, riding in fifth, as there goes Jonathan Beeson as well as Gavin Miller to the bottom side. Again, the battle there for the fourth spot.
Axsom's now taken up to the top of the raceway, so Axsom on the hunt. He's got to roll forward as he dropped a couple of spots, just like KT did, to the top of the racetrack. Not as happy for some fast drivers as they thought it would be early stages of this race.
We go to the double box. Leaders on the left, and we look back at Jonathan Beeson. Now moves up to the top side of the racetrack, running in fifth. Bottom side in 1 and 2. Gavin Miller right behind. Tulsa Shootout debut with Keith Koontz Motorsports. Trying to get things done. Is behind them Dominic Gordon and Emerson Axsom, who drop back. Axsom this time dropping underneath. Thomas Koontzman taking over the 8th spot.
Reminder that the defending champion of this race, Chris Carroll, is not in it, so we will not have back-to-back champs. Out front, it's Newell and Hahn getting closer and starting to apply pressure to your leader as we approach 10 laps in.
Emmer just went to the top side, and I was just thinking they're starting to get awfully slick off turn 4. It might be time to try. You see, he's not the only one. Blake Hahn to the high side, trying to go to the outside of Jeffrey Newell for the lead down the backstretch.
Battle for the lead. Blake Hahn, double GoPros up top of the Adams Performance Machine as he goes around the outside. Jeffrey Newell trying to stick the bottom and hold it side by side off of turn 2. Blake Hahn finding something to work up top, and just as Clint Boyles mentioned, a lot of grip up there off of 4, but Blake Hahn takes back the lead after starting from pole.
I talked to Blake Hahn this week. He said he wanted to win a micro driller again. He's well on his way right now, pulling away from Jeffrey Newell, dominating the mid part of this Outlaw non-wing feature.
Newell starting to fade back a little bit on the bottom as the top side may be coming in. Just the right time for Blake Hahn, stretching his lead now. Guess who's joining him on the top side of the racetrack? It's Jonathan Beeson. Beeson season's trying to get back in season.
Yeah, Beeson noted to be one of the best around the bottom side of this Tulsa Shootout Raceway, and he is ripping the top right now, running down Blake Hahn for your lead.
17 laps to go. Jonathan Beeson trying to chase down Blake Hahn. Jeffrey Newell, can he hold off Mahaffey, as Mahaffey's going to have a charge here for 4th, but look at Jonathan Beeson.
Newell, who controlled the early stages of this, needs to get off the bottom of the raceway. The groove's not there anymore. It's up top, and if you can't ride the rim right now, you're not going forward. As Beeson closing on Blake Hahn, we're halfway home.
Here's going to be the hard part, is Beeson makes a slight mistake right there. When do you slide him? Because we're going so fast around the Expo Raceway, there's not much grip across the middle of the racetrack to throw a slide job. You're going to have a really good run on him and time it just right unless you want to clean out Blake Hahn.
With the guy like Blake Hahn and as many laps as he has and as good as he has, I think you're only getting one try to get Blake Hahn. You're going to have to surprise him and make it absolutely stick the first time.
Coming to 12 laps to go, folks. 2 of the best ever inside this building, including Blake Hahn. Jonathan Beeson gonna pull the trigger for the slide job. Beeson down low, slides up high. Hahn quickly to cross over. Beeson up and over the cushion, but he doesn't have enough. So Jonathan Beeson, who jumps the cushion, collects Blake Hahn, who comes to a stop. Collection. Nearly got into the back of Emerson Axsom as we have another car on the wall, but Blake Hahn, as the caution flag waves, Beeson up and over the cushion, collects your leader. And now we'll see what happens. Did Hahn come to a complete stop?
Guys, I don't think he did, so maybe a premature caution. And what we do on there, I'm not 100% sure. You would assume we use the fade rule.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. What a wild sequence of events there. Beeson had a really good slide job across 1 and 2. Like I talked about, had to have a good run, and he did. That was the right time to do it. Surprisingly, had enough drive off turn 2 where Blake Hahn couldn't turn back underneath him.
Here's the Joe's Racing Products replay, and you're going to see how it goes. Beeson triggers the slider, comes out and actually clears him by a full car length. Hahn closes back in. They get into the cushion. Beeson gets up, gets tight, bounces the right rear off. Right rear of Hahn comes up and over the top. The left rear, Hahn takes a shot.
I don't think the wheel stopped moving, but again, what constitutes a stop on the track?
And here's the best thing we can do is wait and see what they call. We can speculate to death, but the time is, and right now Hahn is coming back forward.
And around to the tail?
Or into the work area, I'm not sure. As Logan Seavey looks on.
Lights are out. He's coming around to the tail side of this field, so Blake Hahn rule did come to a stop. He was the cause of the yellow.
Jonathan Beeson, new leader. Austin Lambert, ride of his life in second. And third now, Emerson Axsom as we go green.
Green flag with 12 to go, and Lambert pulling the trigger on Jonathan Beeson. Going to clear him off of 2. Beeson crosses back under. Beeson through the middle as Lambert again, the same position as now Lambert got into Jonathan Beeson. Lambert to the inside. There goes Jeffrey Newell. Top 2 get collected. Newell takes advantage. Emerson Axsom now around the top side of the racetrack. Calamity in turn 3 on the cushion as Axsom throws a slider for third. Here comes Mahaffey on the bottom. Mahaffey from 4th looking for 2nd as Axsom jumps the cushion again. Lambert on top as well.
What a wild race this has been up front with guys all over the place. And Jeffrey Newell got handed the lead once again. Driving forward is Axsom with the slider. Lambert coming back. Both of them got to get back around Mahaffey to try to come back and get to Newell as Axsom going to go
big upside down. Lambert upside down in a big way in turn 3. Right as Emerson Axsom pulled the slider 3 wide for a moment in that corner, and Lambert, who challenged briefly for the lead, is on his lid. Inside 10 laps to go. Who can handle the cushion in turn 3 right now? Not many.
What in the world is happening in this race? This is bonkers.
Wild timing right there with the slide drop from Emerson. Austin Lambert bouncing off the cushion. Then some contact. Lambert seems like he may want to try and go again at this.
There's fluid down, I believe. Take a look at that right front.
Probably just some antifreeze, right?
Not much. We've seen certainly a lot more.
So Lambert, who slid Beeson.
And that was a hard impact, too. So if he keeps going, this is very impressive.
Yeah, Lambert, who slid Beeson but couldn't hold it. They both make contact. Beeson drops way back as you're going to get a look at the Joe's Racing Products replay. Here's what happened between Lambert and Axsom. Into the corner, Lambert cruising around the top, Axsom there, and, you know, Axsom never touched him.
No.
On first look, you could have thought that Emerson did, but it was Lambert just getting up and over that cushion.
And here's what I will say about that is Austin saw Emerson coming across and didn't have much of an option, right? And if Austin lifted at all, which I think he did, that's how you get in trouble on the cushion. So Emerson not leaving much of an option there for Austin Lambert, but that's not his job to make sure he's got you know, a free way out of it. But I wanted to jump in and say right before all that happened, those guys were battling, and the bottom side of the track's getting really clean, and that's really good for Jeffrey Newell and Mahaffey. Dejected Blake Hahn.
Yeah, Blake Hahn pulled off the racetrack there. And
there's your agony of defeat moment.
I mean, had been stout of the field in this non-wing outlaw division. Again, 10th to 1st in the heat, high point man, wins the qualifier. Pole for the outlaw non-wing, and then just kind of got collected, and unfortunately his run at a 9th Golden Driller will have to wait another year.
He's still got a pretty good shot coming up, I believe, in Outlaw Wing. So he's got to get his head back in a good place.
Another angle here, Joe's Racing Products replay. So Axsom going to slide through the middle. Newell, does he lift? Look a little bit. Man,
you can
right
see that flame shoot out in the last second.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that, you know, Blake Hahn and Jonathan Beeson are teammates racing for the lead there when all that went down, and Emerson Axsom kind of a part of that same team also.
Wow.
So as it stands, Jeffrey Newell, Sean Mahaffey now into second.
Guys, this place would absolutely explode if Jeffrey Newell gets to win him a driller.
No kidding. One of the local legends here, Jeffrey Newell. But he's got Mahaffey, Emerson Axsom, Dominic Gordon with a solid run, and then Thomas Koonsman, one of the drivers we've seen awfully busy here on Driller Saturday.
Jeffrey Newell's been awfully good in this building. He doesn't have a golden driller.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he doesn't, and I'm sure he'd like to change that right now, as some of the top contenders falling by the wayside here. With 9 laps to go, the lights are out. What can Mahaffey, Axsom, Dominic Gordon, Thomas Koonsman, even Gavin Miller down there in 7th?
With 9 laps left, the way this race has gone, anything can happen.
So Newell and Mahaffey will set the pace here as Jeffrey pulls down the hill. Mahaffey thought about going, likely pulls back in line as we're back to green. Emerson Axsom right back to the top.
Emerson's going to be the guy leading the charge on the top side 100% as he gets by Mahaffey down the backstretch there.
Gonna get a look at the shot from the drone. It's a long way around the top, but boy, Axsom's got some really nice forward drive on corner exit. You can see him just launch the race car down the track as they come off the top. Mahaffey down low, really digging, and Thomas Koonsman about to be a factor. He's up to 4th.
Axsom starting to get it wound up, but keep an eye on that bottom side with Thomas Koonsman. If he can find an open door and get by Mahaffey, I think he's one of the better cars on the bottom side of the racetrack to challenge for the lead, but just stuck on the bottom as Axsom trying to battle there for 3rd.
Yeah, big mistake up at the cushion from Axsom. That's going to send him back a couple of laps. Lets Newell get away just a little bit further.
6 laps to go, coming to 5 to go for Jeffrey Newell. Can he hang on, capturing a first golden driller? Axsom's going to throw everything he can, riding the top side. Mahaffey's still there.
Yeah, he's still got to get around Mahaffey. Mahaffey's still got a shot at this too, as Newell's not that far away from Mahaffey.
Yeah, guys, Emerson's laying it all out there, though. I don't know if he can hold on and not have anything silly happen. He's going to have a shot at this win.
Coming to 3 laps to go, the momentum with Emerson Axsom. Messes a little bit on top of the cushion, but he's going to have another run at Jeffrey Newell. Oh, Axsom off the wall with the right rear, but has a whale of a run down the back straightaway as Mahaffey tries to challenge again for 2nd.
It's the Emerson Axsom show at the Expo Raceway, trying to steal one from the local favorite in the late stages. 2 local favorites as Mahaffey low, holding 2nd. We're coming to the white flag this time around.
Much better time through 1 and 2 for Axsom, still crossed up in 3 and 4. Jeffrey Newell takes the white flag. Biggest win of his life. He's going to try to do it through 3 and 4 for the final time, but here comes Emerson Axsom. Final time through 3 and 4. To the top goes Axsom. Bottom is Newell. Axsom laying it hang out to dry, but it's going to be Jeffrey Newell at the line.
Oh, wow, huge crash, guys.
Big time upside down, and that's Axsom following the checkered flag.
Whew.
Axsom never lifted through 3 and 4. We'll have to see what happened, but Jeffrey Newell, as the crowd erupts, another photo finish. This time it's the non-wing Outlaw. Jeffrey Newell, welcome to the Golden Driller Club. And the gap right there, 5/1000ths of a second.
0.058. Insane.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Emerson Axsom put about the best lap and a half I've ever seen in this Expo building.
And now he's on the flip side, right?
Yep.
The difference between him and Bright, similar. As Jeffrey Newell donuts, finally, as he parks it right in front of the Buzzy Racing Products speed shot.
Right in front of us, guys. We got a front row seat for this one.
Yeah.
This is going to be one happy Jeffrey Newell.
The crowd on its feet inside the SageNet Center. Jeffrey Newell, you finally did it.
Letting Newell have his moment. Axsom, an absolutely nuts run to get into 2nd. You want to talk practically, though. He gets a win and blows a motor, takes a 2nd and junks a race car. It's been costly for Axsom in that point of view.
What an unbelievable pair of open class races between the non-wing A class and the non-wing Outlaws. Jeffrey Newell climbs out of the race car to the roar of the crowd, and I believe Scotty Cook is in position.
Better than that, Brian Holbert. He's been coming here a long time, ladies and gentlemen. His first driller ever started outside of the front row and put on a clinic. Never let go of the bottom of the racetrack. Hugs and a lot of love down in that camp. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, once again, he's about ready to get that helmet off, and we'll get him up here, and I guarantee you there will be a whole lot of emotion. He's been coming here as long as we can all remember, and we all know how tough it is to get a golden driller, and today is the day finally for Tulsa, Oklahoma's Jeffrey Newell. He's got the helmet off. Give him a big round of applause. How do you feel, my friend? You just earned a golden driller to put on the shelf for the first time.
Dude, I've been waiting a long time for this. Man, we've been here. We've ran second. We've crashed for the lead, and I'm sorry to whoever we got into there at the finish line, but hell, man, we're here to win, and I'm glad we got one.
It got dicey early, and it didn't take long for the action to heat up with you and Blake Hahn.
Well, man, I knew I had to stick to the plan. Those guys, they can hammer the curb, and I'm just, not in the car that we can quite do that. And bottom started sticking there, and man, they started racing, and we ended up winning.
I'd say about 365 days a year for the last 20 years, you have dreamed of this moment. Now is your time to thank everybody that made it possible.
Well, first off, I got to thank Rick and Karina with Drywall Systems, man. They give me everything I need. Specialized power plants, Brad Coleman, I know you're out there somewhere getting ready for the Outlaw main. Chris, my dad, Rodney, my girlfriend, Shelby, just everybody, man. It's been a badass week.
Enjoy the moment, buddy. It's been a long time coming for you and well deserved.
Thank you, Scotty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Newell, your winner for your Outlaw Non-Wing 2022 Tulsa Shootout champion.
What a win it was for Jeffrey Newell, holding his first golden driller in Outlaw Non-Wing. Newell led laps 1 through 9, Blake Hahn 10 through 18. Jonathan Beeson restarted that race on the pole, but never officially led a lap, as Newell leads laps 19 through 30 to take his trophy. Golden driller going home. Jeffrey Newell, Emerson Axsom, Sean Mahaffey, Thomas Koonsman, Gavin Miller, Christopher Bell, Alex Bright, Dominic Gordon, Kevin Thomas Jr.
Joe's Racing Products replay. So here's the finish, and this is right after the contact. So Emerson didn't lift, neither did Jeffrey Newell, and Emerson caught the right rear. Big time cartwheel. I mean, Clinton, you and I were both just like, oh my goodness. And we did see, we can't say Emerson did get out, and he's walking back to the pit area.
Yeah, there was one hit to the rear rack right there that really worries me about that race car. If, they are planning on running it in the Winged Outlaw feature.
It's still got a scale, which is weird.
Well, finished second.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Emerson's right there too, so he's going to climb in, get the weight at the scale. He looks just flat out beat. I mean, that was a hard fought
they're moving it around. I wonder if he's light right now.
Well, getting all your corners on, that's kind of tough. That's a look.
Fist bumps must be clear.
All right.
Guys, they're gonna throw this thing on stands, and they're gonna have to go get to work. These guys busting their butts, and I tell you what, though, as much as they're busting their butts for Emerson, he's doing the same for them.
Absolutely.
And what more can you ask for out of a driver, right? And this does need to be the Jeffrey Newell show here for a while, but let's talk about Emerson Axsom.
Quickly to Connor Wade with Emerson Axsom. Quickly to Connor. Connor, you're live.
Emerson Axsom, a second-place finish. And Emerson, hey, first off, good to see you're all right and walking around. What happened on the last lap?
Just hard racing, and I was going for trying to get everything I could, and came up one spot short and made it hard on my guys. So honestly, should have just lifted there, but it's all good.
Way to go, my man. Had a heck of a night.
Thank you.
That's Emerson Axsom. Stay with me here. We're going to get Sean Mahaffey, our third-place finisher. Sean, great night for you, man. Good to see you running up front in 2 different classes now. Kind of summarize what's been your strong point of the night.
I mean, there really wasn't one. We ran the bottom, and I tried to give it my all. I just didn't really have the motor to go up top, especially in the Outlaw deal with one car. I mean, I feel like we just stayed patient all night, maybe a little bit too patient, and I was a little bit too forgiving on the start. I'm really just proud of Jeffrey. I race with him every week, and it's really cool to see him get the win. I'm just really disappointed in myself that I couldn't pull one off tonight.
Hey, 2 excellent finishes. Nothing to be upset about. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sean Mahaffey, your 3rd place finisher. Let's go to the booth.
The emotion from Emerson Axsom just that tugged at me real
We're
quick.
gonna look at another Joe's Racing Products replay of this. As our minds are still kind of exploded down here. So here it is in slow-mo after the .058 second victory from Newell.
This hit right here, that is hard on a rear rack.
Yeah.
That's not just a rear rack. That's hard on everything.
Emerson talked about, I should have lifted, but he got halfway there. And, man, if you lift and Jeffrey does leave a lane, you're going to question yourself for a long time on whether you could have got there or not. So no shame in lifting. And
maybe this is short-sighted, but, I mean, race car parts can be replaced. Glory is forever.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about selling T-shirts. Emerson Axsom, he's sold out right now.
I might go buy one.